Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the Honorable Prime Minister, the Honorable Leader of the Opposition, Honorable Members of the House. Madam Speaker, I think it is only proper that I congratulate the Honorable Minister for Economy and Attorney General for the 2017-2018 budget. Madam Speaker, in supporting this bill, I will speak briefly on key areas of allocation to my ministry. First of all, Madam Speaker, let me thank and pay tribute to the Honourable Minister for Economy and Attorney General and his team for the preparation of a smart, proactive and people-focused budget for all Fijians. Allow me to go a bit further, Madam Speaker, in saying this is a budget that goes a long way towards future-proofing growth so that we can continue the unparalleled and record-breaking 8 years of growth in the Fijian economy. Contrary to the doomsayer, the numbers provided in the 2017-18 budget, Madam Speaker, prove beyond doubt the credibility of Fiji First government in taking all Fijians surely towards greater and greater gains in our material well-being as a nation. Madam Speaker, a smart economy is based on smart thinking, sound and clean analysis of variables, and the conviction to deliver beyond the numbers. Sadly, Madam Speaker, the knee-jerk reaction from the opposition and other politicians coming out of the woodwork was anything but considered or constructive. Madam Speaker, it was incredible to hear from all corners among the opposition so far and from all corners among the other politicians that this budget was an election budget, the good, bad and ugly budget, and from one desperate politician that this was a desperate budget. How convenient for these individuals, Madam Speaker, to use the language in the name of election to point fingers at the Fiji First government. Madam Speaker, we are tired of the same old cheap political potshots. Let us hear some proper analysis of budget and how we can deliver to the welfare and well-being of all Fijians. And in making my address in support of the 2017-2018 budget, Madam Speaker, I will focus on exactly these key factors of the welfare and well-being of all Fijians as the platform for delivering on the allocations made to all sections. Madam Speaker, on behalf of my ministry and all our stakeholders, I record my sincere appreciation for the allocation in the 2017-2018 budget that responds to the detailed and needs base. Madam Speaker, my team is committed to service delivery with sustainable and diligent disbursement of our allocation in the key priority. Madam Speaker, the allocation provided for each section that I will now tend to give us confidence to deliver, and deliver, so that all Fijians will benefit in key areas. Madam Speaker, the National Budget 2017-18 has come up with the highest allocation ever to be given in the history of Fijian municipal councils of $22 million. Madam Speaker, this allocation to the municipal councils will directly affect the life of our ordinary citizens. For example, this will enable construction of markets in Namaka in Nendi, Reki, Langere in Nasinu, as well as 8 mini markets across Fiji that shall see a minimum of 1,400 stalls promoting small businesses and providing direct market access to our rural producers. Madam Speaker, the allocation of $2.26 million for the redevelopment of Govind Park is timely for the people of Ba and shall see planning and construction works commencing during the fiscal year 2017-18 of this iconic sporting ground. Madam Speaker, government acknowledges the fact that Nasinu is the largest populated municipality in Fiji, welcomes a number of allocations made to improve its sporting and community amenities. Madam Speaker, Nasinu Town Council for the first time shall see a total government grant of around $4 million in the 2017-18 budget. This is in line with our commitment to providing service equity in all municipalities for all Fijians. Madam Speaker, the increase in municipal challenge fund to around $4.7 million will greatly assist in improving municipal councils' facilities across Fiji with a focus on sustainable and climate-friendly solid waste management, stormwater and drainage management, apart from investment in infrastructure and the other amenities. Madam Speaker, the continued allocation of 500,000 will assist with the current local government review reform program. This will be completed upon receiving the report by the local government committee by the end of September 2017. This will enable us to draw up the terms of reference for the local government review report and appoint the local government review committee. Needless to say, Madam Speaker, we cannot move our towns and cities into the smart technology age if their controlling legislations under the Local Government Act remains in the dark ages. Madam Speaker, I welcome the allocation for the National Fire Authority, an allocation of the Ambulance Emergency Fire Grant of around 1.6 million. Madam Speaker, this is an area that is a specialized area which is provided by National Fire Authority that I would like to highlight, and one that deserves greater credit and awareness among all Fijians. Madam Speaker, my colleagues will speak on the area of housing, and I would like to thank them for covering the increased affordability of housing for more and more Fijians. By doing so, the Fiji Affairs government upholds the 2013 constitution that requires government to use its available resources to gradually ensure the rights of every Fijian to accessible and adequate housing. Madam Speaker, my ministry will also closely work with the stakeholders to construct mixed-income multi-unit housing developments, construct affordable residential buildings and housing units. In doing so, Madam Speaker, the emphasis will be on sustainable yet affordable housing technology in design and build projects with development partners. Madam Speaker, Ministry through the Squatter Settlement Upgrading Program will continue to develop squatter upgrading program and regularize squatters to grant on security of tenure. This is an important yet often hidden part of providing mass affordable housing successfully undertaken by the Fiji Affairs government. The focus on housing support to all Fijians is on how the low and the middle income segments of our people. Madam Speaker, I must make mention of special programs covered under the 2017-18 budget to assist 191 financially disadvantaged housing authority customers who had paid part of their home loans, thus saving their residential homes from being under mortgage sale, leaving them homeless. People assisted are retirees and people with medical conditions. They will be assisted under the loan rehab, interest suspension and debt discounting. Madam Speaker, the allocation will allow us to continue with 1 million rental subsidy grant to assist 949 financially disadvantaged rental customers in PRB housing states in Northern Division, 15 housing states in the Central Division, and 6 housing states in the Western Division. Madam Speaker, now I will turn on to the infrastructure and transport. And Madam Speaker, may I say at this juncture that the statement made earlier in the day that FRA staffs are not signing the contract. That is not the truth. The truth is that all have signed their contract. Madam Speaker, the allocation of FEA and Department of Energy reaffirms government's commitment to connect every rural Fijian community to sustainable, reliable and clean source of electricity, reflected in the significant increase to 43 million for the rural electrification. Under this increased allocation, 6,866 more rural Fijian families and schools will be assisted either through connection to the Fiji Electricity Authority's power network or via the installation of solar home systems. Madam Speaker, FEA will deliver 147 rural electrification projects which will benefit 3,382 households in a rural remote location. Madam Speaker, Government has increased the monthly threshold of electricity subsidy from 95 kilowatts per month to 100 kilowatts per month for domestic users with a combined household income of below 30,000 per annum. Madam Speaker, this is another indicator of the people-focused budget, improving the lot of all Fijians, in particular the lower income earners, by reducing their utility bills. Madam Speaker, this also includes Kes Paoyu. Madam Speaker, the allocation for Fiji Roads Authority will deliver new and upgraded roads, crossing jetties and bridges. The Fiji Roads Authority will work to ease urban congestion and improving and extending the rural road network. Madam Speaker, allow me to highlight a few specific projects aimed at expanding and improving the rural road network access and address safety issues. The Kavanasau Road in Singatoka has been allocated $1 million under the upgrading of rural road program. Concerns on the road user safety on the Natamboa Road in Lotoka will also be addressed. Signs and traffic lights will be installed to overcome the safety issues in these identified black spots. Madam Speaker, the responsibility of street lights and footpaths have been taken over by Fiji Roads Authority, and budget has been allocated in the Fiji Roads Authority's allocation to do the street lightings and footpaths for the municipal areas as well. Madam Speaker, the Land Transport Authority in the budget allocation provides a platform to improve land transportation management, enhancing road safety, and provide better service delivery and customer service. Here, Madam Speaker, when we talk about customer services, my ministry and LTA has received a lot of complaints from the people from North in terms of the bus services. And I must say, Madam Speaker, that we have taken this as a very serious issue because of drivers not being friendly, buses are not being upgraded, and I must warn those bus companies who are operating in Lambasa that if they're not going to operate, we are going to take bus companies from Western to service in Northern India. Because, Madam Speaker, it is not about politics, it is about serving our people. We are not concerned about one individual, we are concerned about the people at large. They've been also objecting about the taxi permits. I'll come later on that. Madam Speaker, key priority areas will be increased enforcement on the overloading to minimize damages to our roads in Fiji. The changes to LTA regulation in the general areas of license and permits for public service vehicles have been welcomed by all stakeholders. And here, Madam Speaker, at this point, let me clarify that the new provision for the taxi and transport permits will not result in a free-for-all situation. Instead, we will look at pending applications on a need-based to clear the backlog before deciding on the issue of new permits. Madam Speaker, Fiji First is a responsible government, and we will protect the existing taxi permit holders as well. Madam Speaker, the budget allocated to the Water Authority of Fiji for the financial year 2017-2018 clearly reflects the Fiji First government's commitment to deliver basic clean water and sanitation services to all Fijians. Madam Speaker, allow me to highlight a few key areas that will benefit Fijians from these allocations. Madam Speaker, 14.7 million will be used for improvements and upgrades to existing water treatment plants expected to benefit over 3,000 people. The Free Water Initiative will continue in the new financial year, greatly adding to the 25,649 households that have benefited from this policy since inception in 2014. The allocation of 4.5 million towards the government subsidy towards the rainwater harvesting scheme has been well received by all recipients. The scheme has greatly assisted people living in Peri-Evan as well as those that reside in the rural areas. Madam Speaker, the Rural Water Supply Program, with its allocation of around 27 million, will ensure the implementation of 179 rural water projects that will benefit 36,648 people. All Fijians living in the maritime and rural areas will benefit from the total of 1,600 water tanks that will be distributed to these communities, with an additional 3 million allocated for carting of water to the rural and unmetered areas. Madam Speaker, before I finish my address, let me take this opportunity to state this bill is a strategic plan to drive Fiji forward and not just a simple budgetary exercise. Madam Speaker, allow me to say a few words about the sugar industry. Madam Speaker, for many years there has been talks of taking this industry to new heights with nothing happening on the ground. In fact, by 2006, under the Garase government, Madam Speaker, there was not much left of the industry to speak about. Madam Speaker, it is this government, the Fiji First government, that has recognized the sugar industry and have assisted by giving incentives, land security, any raft of subsidies with which farmers now feel secure and looking forward to work hard to produce more cane. One just has to go and visit the cane fields. The farmers will give answers. And they are so happy with the allocation in this year's budget. Since independence, Madam Speaker, secure land tenure as the foundation for an incentivized and streamlined sugar industry has been promised under many previous governments, but never delivered. The Fiji First government has delivered in its earlier incentives as well as secured land tenure for the sugar industry. Madam Speaker, the significant announcement of the crop insurance, all these years people have been talking, they were only concerned about walkouts and boycotts. If they were really interested about the industry, if they really wanted to recognize the industry, they could have come up with, even though they were in opposition, but they could have brought up to the government at that point in time, or that government would have considered. But nothing happened. I will come to that. Madam Speaker, the significant announcement of crop insurance, fertilizer and chemical subsidies, mechanized cane harvester, grants as well as grants for the cane planting in this budget, that truly is a real gift to the farmers of this country. Madam Speaker, this is something that the cane farmers of this country are so proud of, except some articles in Fiji Times. Madam Speaker, I've spoken to few people who were interviewed by Fiji Times, because basically they are mouthpiece of some political parties. And that guy who was interviewed said to me that I have never said this to Fiji Times. And this sort of things, is happening, Madam Speaker. It's so unfortunate. Madam Speaker, only under the Fiji First government can it now call it a real industry. And I mean it. And an economic force rather than the political football for a few. That used to be an old school sugar politics is what prompts the opposition to negative comments about the sugar industry, not genuine concern for the farmers or the industry. And now that the Fiji First government has delivered on its promise for the sugar industry, it hurts the opposition. Madam Speaker, it hurts them where it hurts, because they no longer have any basis for the predicted doom for the sugar industry. Madam Speaker, let me end by stating that Honourable Minister for Economy once again came up with a budget based on careful analysis of all the economic factors and delivered a win-win situation for all the Fijians, unlike what oppositions are saying. Madam Speaker, with all the earlier negative comments about Christmas coming earlier, let me state what all Fijians already enjoy without that lame attempt by the opposition to criticize the budget. With the Fiji First government, it is a Christmas every day for all Fijians. Madam Speaker, not just with budget goodies, but we bring the spirit of light and happiness to all Fijians all day, every day. Madam Speaker, this is reflected in the positive economic growth in Fiji over the past 8 years, shows that the Fiji First government has rightly identified and concentrated on key areas for spending to make this growth possible. As such, this bill is geared towards providing growth under a national budget with a strong foundation in constructive consultation with the people. Finally, Madam Speaker, it seems that the opposition is really scraping the bottom of the barrel with the use of the term non-performer to describe one of Fiji's hardest working leader in his presentation of the budget. Personal attacks such as this is the worst sign of non-performer. If the opposition did any homework, or if they had the ability to do homework, there may be, we could get some thoughtful contribution, Madam Speaker. But given the number of non-performers within the opposition, that is too much to hope, Madam Speaker. In fact, Madam Speaker, Honorable Gavoga should have been the last person to say such things. Madam Speaker, it is a bill that provides in a sustainable and smart manner for a lower income earners, our rural population. It is a bill focused on and for the people. God bless you.